evening. This is a brand new week of Left, Right and Centre. I'm Nidhi Razdan. Tonight, despite the Shiv Sena's threats, the book launch of former Pakistan Foreign Minister Khurshid Kasuri takes place under heavy security in Mumbai. The event is held after its organiser Sudheendra Kulkarni was attacked by the Sena this morning, his face blackened with paint. Khurshid Kasuri and Sudheendra Kulkarni speak to us later on how they defied the threats. Has the Sena taken intolerance to a new low?
हमारे जवानों के जो शहीद जवानों के घर में जाके देखिए क्या आक्रोश है। देश की सेंटिमेंट्स आप समझ लीजिए। ये कोई शिवसेना का एजेंडा नहीं, ये देश का एजेंडा है। उसमें हार जीत का बात क्या है भाई? ये बहुत ही माइल्ड, सौम्य और डेमोक्रेटिक अटैक।
इस देश में विरोध करने का सबके पास एक मौलिक अधिकार है, मगर विरोध करने का कुछ तरीका होता है। तो सिर्फ किताब को विमोचन को लेकर के किसी को फिजिकली छूना और उस तरह का कालिक फेंकना लगाना ये ठीक नहीं है।
I strongly condemn whosoever has done it. Democracy must ensure tolerance for a different culture.
Well, Saurabh Gupta now joining us from near the venue of that book launch. At the end of the day, Saurabh, so much security, but the event went ahead peacefully.
That's right. The event went on peacefully, and perhaps it's that message of peace that is the most important thing that's coming out of the event. Now, let me tell you one thing. One quote that perhaps summed up what the message was a quote from Nasiruddin Shah, where he said that the heart of Punjab was severed in two in 1947. Perhaps it's futile to hope that they may be joined in the future, but it's not futile to hope that someday they will beat in harmony. And that's exactly the message that Sudheendra Kulkarni, A.G. Nurani, Dilip Padgaonkar, all of whom who spoke at the event echoed. And also saying that there is no space for intolerance in this country, something that seems to be growing with each passing day. Today it was the Shiv Sena who had opposed this event, saying that Kasuri is not even an artist. He's a politician, part of the system that exports terror to India, and also saying that cultural ties with Pakistan and terrorism cannot go hand in hand. To drive home their point, they blackened the face of Sudheendra Kulkarni, but Sudheendra Kulkarni did not give in, did not buckle under pressure. The event was held with massive security, something that we see only when prime ministers or presidents visit the city. There were a 7-layer security cordon thrown around this area, the venue of the book launch event, and also there was a convoy of 10 cars for Kasuri. There was a hexagonal formation which meant that no car could get close to Kasuri's car, along with a bus full of policemen ready to take on any threat that may arise. That is the level of security we saw, but finally the event did go on in Mumbai.
All right, Saurabh, thanks very much for joining us tonight. Thanks. Well, it is being described as a black day for tolerance after that attack on Sudheendra Kulkarni, who used to be in Mr. Vajpayee's PMO, was a former speechwriter to Mr. Advani and is organizing this book launch in Mumbai today. I spoke to both Sudheendra Kulkarni and Khurshid Kasuri ahead of that book launch a little while earlier. Well, Mr. Kulkarni, Kasuri Saab, thank you for joining us on NDTV today. You know, we are speaking to you before the formal launch of the book in Mumbai this evening. Kasuri Saab, first, your thoughts on what has happened to Mr. Kulkarni today and these threats by the Shiv Sena. You must be deeply disappointed.
You see, I'm so upset because here is a gentleman, a scholar and an author, that this should happen to him. And I've known him for 10 years now, since I invited Mr. Advani to visit Pakistan, where he inaugurated the Katas Raj temple, and Mr. Kulkarni came with him. Since then I've known him, and I'm so upset. But anyway, I think both of us are determined to carry forward with what we are doing. I do recognize in any democratic country, people have a right to protest. I do recognize the right of any political party to protest against my visit to Mumbai, but it should be within the limits of law. And I myself have been a political worker all my life. I've been to jail. I faced police lathi charge. I faced tear shell. In General Ziaul Haq's time, I spent 6 months sleeping on the ground in Bhagat Singh's cell. So I am trained for this. And I would take this risk because I think the message that my book wishes to convey is a very positive one. I wish to share it with the people of Mumbai. I wish to tell them that peace between Pakistan and India is possible, and to demonstrate effectively how it happened within such a short pace when Prime Minister Vajpayee started and Dr. Manmohan Singh concluded it. And if it can be done then, it can be done now. And I have put in the framework, which means that any future government can start from there. So this is a positive message. Why should people wish to prevent me from sharing it with the great city of Mumbai, where my father actually, you people don't know, was first arrested at the age of 19 in the Quit India movement. He got his law degree from Mumbai. And I salute Hollywood industry for one reason, because it used simple language which enables people of South Asia to understand each other. I am glad that Pakistani TV serials have now started coming in. It is only by communication, by people-to-people contact, that these walls will come down.
Well, very strong words there from you, Mr. Kasuri. Mr. Kulkarni, you have spoken very strongly after what happened to you this morning. You still have paint on your face. You say you're determined to go ahead with this event no matter what.
Yeah, absolutely, because cancellation of the program would mean a defeat, and it would mean surrender before forces of intolerance, and this must not happen, and this will not happen. Our program will indeed take place, because we have invited a peacemaker. I regard Kasuri Sahab as a peacemaker from Pakistan. You know, I have known him for the last 10 years, ever since I accompanied Advani on his historic peace mission to Pakistan, and it was Kasuri Sahab who had invited Advani to Pakistan. I have known him, I have enormous respect for him, and in fact I was present when his book was launched in New Delhi at a program that you moderated. None other than our former Prime Minister, Dr. Manmohan Singh, another peacemaker, Advani yet another peacemaker, they were present at the program. Now, if New Delhi can have a program, why can't Mumbai? And therefore, you know, we have taken every step to ensure that the program happens peacefully. We have written to the Honorable Chief Minister, and I'm grateful to the Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis for providing full security to our honored guest Kasuri Sahab right from the moment he landed at the airport last evening. I believe that through dialogue, you know, we can smoothen things in this context. I went and met Uddhav Thackeray last night, and I told him that I share your concern for terrorist activities.
But Mr. Kulkarni, as you said, you met Uddhav Thackeray last night. But what did he say to you? What did he say to you?
Are concerned about this.
What did Uddhav Thackeray say to you when you made this appeal to him last night?
No, Uddhav Thackeray, of course, you know, he mentioned what way things are happening between India and Pakistan. So I told him that our government and our military is capable of countering this. This does not mean that no artist, no political leader, no intellectual, no media person from India should go to Pakistan, no one from Pakistan should come here. This is not on. In fact, I even mentioned to him, I must bring this to your attention, Nidhi. I said that just a few months ago, when our two Prime Ministers, Narendra Modi ji and Nawaz Sharif, met in Russia, the joint statement has a very interesting, common agreement. It says that the two countries will make efforts to promote religious tourism, you know, pilgrimages from Indians to Pakistan, from Pakistanis to India. I mean, that is the kind of people-to-people contact that we must maximize. So I told him that, you know, you respect our right, we respect your right. If you protest peacefully, you are absolutely entitled to do so. We respect you. In fact, I went to the extent of saying, I said that you please send one representative of yours to articulate your views and even your protest from our platform. We'll welcome it.
Right. Well, Mr. Kasuri, let me ask you the final question. You were talking about the Delhi book launch, and in fact, former Foreign Minister Shiv Sena was part of the panel there in Delhi, which I moderated, and he disagreed, with the book. He disagreed with your book completely, but you were able to have a dialogue and a civilized dialogue on it. Did you ever, Mr. Kasuri, have second thoughts about going ahead with this event in Mumbai because of the kind of threats that you faced? Did you ever stop for a moment and think, maybe I shouldn't do this?
No, I was advised by many people, particularly my friends and relatives, not to come to Mumbai. But I've given you my background. I do accept people's right to protest against my visit. But I don't think it's appropriate for anyone to stop me from coming here when I'm here on a completely legal mission. I mean, there's nothing illegal about my desire to unveil my book in Delhi. Yes, people did advise me. But, I didn't think that I should change my mind because people are threatening. It's most unfair because that means that wherever you go in any part of Pakistan or India, there are people in Pakistan who do not wish any communication in Pakistan and India. In fact, the time my book was launched in Lahore, some people wrote articles. They said, well, look at this man. He's publishing a book at a time when we are celebrating the 1965 war. They were very upset with me. But, there are people on both sides. But I have strong feeling that in the wisdom of the common man in both Pakistan and India, and I've demonstrated in my book that only in 3 years of positive impulse, you were able to see how people came so close to each other that when India won the cricket match in Lahore, the young men of Lahore were carrying Indian and Pakistani flags across the field and cheering the Indian team. So I believe in the basic common sense of the ordinary people of Pakistan and India.
All right. Well, Khurshid Kasuri and Sudheendra Kulkarni speaking to me earlier today before that book launch took place in Mumbai this evening, the book launch that finally happened peacefully and under heavy security after Devendra Fadnavis's government put its foot down.